Hello, fellow gardeners, and welcome to another episode of Kim the Gardener. Today is November the 10th. I've spent the weekend trying to get some things done in the garden. You'll have to excuse the trash piles that will get taken out. I can't put them out by the road till Wednesday, so they'll just sit here because I've run out of energy. So the first thing I want to say is when I was gardening and I was taking out a lot of my passion vine, which I have growing crazy throughout my yard, which I love it, but it's a little much. There were so many caterpillars from the Gulf Flitteries and I believe zebra wing. And so I've been collecting them into big, I put all of the passion vines, excuse my messy bedroom, into there. So I've been collecting all these caterpillars and saving them, and I also put them, a big pile of them, out into my wild garden that has a giant mound of passion vines, so everyone will be okay there. So I'm just going to share with you what I did accomplish this weekend. So I have gotten into coleus. I just became a fanatic about it, so I thought it would go good over here. This is a pretty shady spot. And I actually am propagating some in my kitchen window because you put it in water, a clipping, and it has roots within 2 days. So I can add on. And I put in some impatiens here, but I pruned them back pretty severe because they were really leggy when I bought them, so that I'll just give them new life. So I'm going to continue making like a shade area in here. Like I said, excuse the mess. It's a work in progress, friends. So here, I'm really excited about my dahlia, which you can see her right down there. She survived a lot of heat, the terrible summer and all kinds of stuff, and she's come back. So I've placed some of the plants I bought because I'm trying to create a big border. All of these plants, that's Mexican sage here, and then I've got butterfly bush, these two plants right there, butterfly bush. And then I went ahead and took one of my society garlics and divided it up to put in here. So this, and I planted these purple, I call them purple petunias. I don't know what their real name is, but I love them. They did really well. Like you can see how pretty they pop over there in the pond area. So I put some in here. So this is going to be all purples and pinks and some yellow. I put a buttercup there. Why will be. So that's what I did here. And I was so excited when I was weeding. Up popped these, I call them the little clown plants, and they've seeded themselves. We're gonna get a close-up on them because they're so happy. Just look at them. So they'll fill in here really nice. I left my rose here for 2 nights because I want to put it here. This is a bush rose. Or a shrub rose. So the deer didn't mess with it. I've got the lavender there, which is a big deterrent to deer. They don't like it, and they hate society garlic. So I'm hoping with all of that right there, it'll protect it, because I really want to have a rose out in my perennial garden here, and not have to just keep them in pots all the time. So like I said, these things will start filling in. It looks pretty ugly right now. I'm doing an experiment with my excuse me, geraniums, or as the English like to call them, pelargoniums. I divided them out. They survived neglect and the heat, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can save them. I'm gonna try putting them in the ground instead of the pot and just see how that goes. All right, so my little rose babies are doing okay. The deer have been nibbling on them a little bit, but we'll see. Also, I have some surviving catmint here, and I went ahead and tried to propagate some of that today. I'm hoping to get a big thing of that so I can put it in several areas in the garden this spring. And I did get my vegetable garden done. So I pruned up my raspberry. I planted some sage, some parsley, some more thyme. I've got that original thyme, some more thyme here, and chamomile. I got my dill, my borage is coming up. Pruned up my blackberries. The deer had eaten the strawberries, so I'm going to go ahead and I planted them in here to see if I can give them another go. Trying to save the basil, but I pruned it down and I have a bunch of clippings in the kitchen, so I'm going to grow those on. And oh my gosh, the delight are the nasturtiums that have popped up. So I'm going to come over here and show you. Look, all of these nasturtiums have just popped up. So I planted some celery. There's an onion there. I've got some mustard greens over here. And then I planted 2 collards because the collards tend to get huge in my garden, and I can't use them taking up all the space. And I've got some cauliflower I'm trying to save that I had started from seed. Then I've got some more nasturtiums popping up, and I'm doing an experiment. I'm putting collards and some mustard greens into a pot to use as perennials because I should be able to, so we'll see how they do in the pot. And really quick, I'm going to bring you over here. These are the extra eggplants that they were just not good enough to use. I'm going to put them in the compost. But literally, I harvested 20 eggplants, and then I've got my cabbages, and I put some onion in here too, mixed it up, so they're growing. Started weeding my side garden, but this rose, I got to get it under control, but we'll talk about that another day. Okay, so then I want to show you. Oh, there's the hummingbird. Oh my gosh. Don't know. We'll get her on film. Oh, I love when she visits. Okay, so my sugar cane's coming back. And this Barbados cherry, I pruned it down severely because it was just a wreck from the storm and everything, so I'm hoping it'll go okay. But here's my little tropical garden. It's all weeded, as you can see. I'm gonna I like that plumbago there, and I put in these calla lilies. Want to see how they do. I just love them. This was the false bird of paradise of the hummingbird. She loves that. And then our papayas are going really well. And the Mandela vine, since I cleared away that grass, it's really starting to come back and pop with color. I'm going to add a plumbago there to just have a unity of blue on each side. And then I did a lot of work in my pond garden, which I'm going to show you. So I did not like grasses there. I've decided that grasses in general are too messy. I'm going to leave them in my wild garden in the background, but I did not like them here. So I took them out, and I've got some salvia that's coming back there, some calla lilies, my African irises, which I love. And I cleaned out the pond. My snake friends were visiting this weekend. The red-banded water snake, not a water moccasin, but I did clean that out. One trick, guys, is if you clean it out, here's my big mess, but the pond stuff, but I left it by the shore for a while because after you take it out, you need to let it sit for a good day so that any of the life that might be in that can hop back into its pond. So, but I have a calla lily I'm going to add to here. So I really like my pond area. It makes me happy. And then I cleaned out here. My bromeliads are showing again. And these ferns, I love them, but woo, they can get crazy. And then I'm going to add more bromeliads all through that space as time goes on. But that is what I did, friends. It's a work in progress, but it's coming along. I don't know why my peach tree's blooming, but she is. Here's the big passion vine mound I told you about. But again, I know this is messy and it drives me nuts that it's messy, but I've got a lot of wildflowers that are coming up in here, and some scorpion tail, which is all Florida natives. And the butterflies, though, with these, I'm leaving it because they love the Mexican petunias. And I'll get to this when winter comes. I'm going to pretty much let it stay wild to provide habitat for the insects and different creatures that need the underbrush for warmth and shelter. Even though it'll drive me a little bit crazy, it'll all be okay in the end. And it's providing vital nectar for my butterflies and hummingbird friends. And the bluebirds were here today. They were on their house checking it out, visiting for 2 days, which is always a wonderful surprise. I love when they visit. But it's a rainy day today, guys, and Thank you for joining me on Kim the Gardener. We'll have more episodes as I keep on reclaiming my garden from the heat of summer and Hurricane Milton. Bye!